see the next few moment of inertia for the regular shapes in rotational dynamics. So the next shape is a uniform symmetrical spherical shell. For uniform symmetric spherical shell, this is similar to like that annular disc. So this is a spherical shell having sufficiently large thickness. So for this, the inner radius is considered as R1 and outer radius is considered as R2. So thickness will be that R2 minus R1. So moment of inertia about the central axis, about the diameter axis is I equal to 2 by 5 m in bracket R2 raised to 5 minus R1 raised to 5 upon R2 cube minus R1 cube. So this is the moment of inertia for uniform symmetric spherical shell. So I will once again read the equation. So about the diameter axis of uniform symmetric spherical shell, I equal to 2 by 5 m R2 raised to 5 minus R1 raised to 5 upon R2 cube minus R1 cube. Now for thin uniform rod or for rectangular plate, for thin uniform rod or for rectangular plate, the axis is perpendicular to the length and passing through the center. Axis is perpendicular to the length and passing through the center. So for thin rod, about an axis passes through the center and perpendicular to its length, moment of inertia is ml square by 12. ml square by 12. So this axis is passing through a distance L by 2 from one end. So total length of the rod is L. So half length is L by 2. Similarly, about one end. So this moment of inertia of a rod about one end is calculated by using parallel axis theorem, like IO equal to IC plus MH square. Here H will be L by 2. So a thin uniform rod or a rectangular plate, axis is perpendicular to the length about one end. If the axis passes through one end of the rod and perpendicular to the length, so this is the length of the rod is L. So moment of inertia equation is ml square by 3. So you have to remember the formula. Also you can very easily obtain it by using parallel axis theorem, IC plus MH square. Now for uniform plate or rectangular parallelepiped, because moment of inertia does not depend upon the thickness, for uniform rectangular plate or parallelepiped, about the central axis means axis passes through the center and perpendicular to its plane. So moment of inertia equation for this rectangular plate is m in bracket L square plus B square by 12. So it is m in bracket L square plus B square by 12. Student, you draw the diagram and remember these various formulae. Now for solid right circular cone, for uniform solid right circular cone, axis passes through the center of this cone. So that is called as the axis of the cone. So moment of inertia for the solid cone about its axis is 3 by 10 mr square. It is 3 by 10 mr square. Now for uniform hollow right circular cone, for uniform hollow right circular cone, for hollow cone around the axis of the cone, the moment of inertia is similar to a disc, that is half mr square, or that is said as mr square by 2. So this is the central axis, that is said as axis of the cone. So for the hollow cone, if we cut the number of sections and if they are put one another, so every section will be a ring, and if all the rings are collected at the center, so you will get the disc. So if you imagine the situation like this, if you cut this hollow cone into the number of sections, you will get the concentric rings, and if that all rings are fixed or fitted in one another, you will get a disc. Hence the moment of inertia of a hollow a right circular cone is similar to the disk moment of inertia, that is mr square by 2. Let us see here one combined object, or this is one object having two different bodies. So let us see the problem and calculate the moment of inertia. A big dumbbell. So dumbbell having the shape, it having the circular portion at the ends and middle portion, it seems to be like a rod. So here we have to think about the rod as well as the sphere. A big dumbbell is prepared by using a uniform rod of mass 60 gram. Let us try to draw the diagram. So this is a rod of mass 60 gram and length 20 centimeter. Two identical solid spheres of mass 50 gram and radius 10 centimeter. Two identical spheres, each of mass 50 gram and radius 10 centimeter. Each are at the two ends of the rod. Each are at the two ends of the rod. Calculate moment of inertia of the dumbbell when rotated about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its length. So calculate the moment of inertia of this dumbbell about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its length. So here in solution, to find the moment of inertia of a dumbbell about the axis passes through the center and perpendicular to its length, that we have to calculate. So how we get? So we dissolve it into the different entities. So one is the rod and another two are the sphere. So total moment of inertia of a dumbbell will be the central moment of inertia of rod, that is the moment of inertia of rod about an axis passes through the center and perpendicular to its length, and the sum of moment of inertia of this sphere and this sphere. So shift the moment of inertia of this sphere from their diameter axis to this unknown axis by using the parallel axis theorem, IC plus mh square. So what will be the distance from the center of this sphere to this unknown axis? So that distance will be, this total length of the rod is 20 centimeter. So half length will be 10 centimeter and here radius is 10 centimeter. So the distance from the center of the sphere up to the axis of rotation will be, this is 10 plus 10, that will be 20 centimeter. So that is the distance of the center of the sphere to this unknown axis of rotation, that will be h, while applying the parallel axis theorem to this sphere. So whatever I explained in the same manner. So total moment of inertia of this system, that is moment of inertia of a dumbbell, equal to moment of inertia of a rod plus moment of inertia of a first sphere plus moment of inertia of second sphere. But both the spheres are identical and both the spheres are at equidistant from the central axis, from your that axis. Hence, so as the both moment of inertia are identical, we will take the moment of inertia of any one and multiply by 2, means sum of this will be 2 times. So total moment of inertia of a dumbbell is moment of inertia of rod plus 2 times moment of inertia of a sphere. So total moment of inertia will be rod moment of inertia about the central axis, ml square by 12 plus 2 times moment of inertia of the sphere about your that given axis of rotation. Here mass of the rod is 60 gram and length of the rod is 20 centimeter. So substituting the value 60 into 20 square divided by 12 of this formula plus 2 into the moment of inertia of a sphere about the given axis of rotation will be IC plus mh square. Here m represents mass of the sphere and h is the distance from the center of the sphere to the axis of rotation. So the calculation of this become 12 5 is 60. So I become 5 into 20 square is 400 plus 2 into IC, moment of inertia of sphere about its diameter is 2 by 5 mr square but the sphere is not actually rotating about its own axis, it rotates about some different axis. So plus mass of that sphere and the distance between that two parallel axes, so that is h square. So next step become this I for a dumbbell will be the product of this will be 2000 plus 2 into 2 by 5, mass of each sphere is 50 gram into radius of each sphere is 10 centimeter its square, plus mass of the sphere 50 gram and the distance between that center of the sphere to the axis of rotation will be 10 plus 10, that is 20 whole square. So next step become this is 2000 plus 2. If we take 1000 common from these two terms, so inside the bracket the remaining term will be 2 plus 20. 2 plus 20. So if we take the 2000 common from these two terms, so it is inside the bracket 1 plus 22, that is 23. So 23 into 2, that is 46, and this is 10 raised to 3. Hence the total moment of inertia of a dumbbell is 46,000 gram centimeter square. Let us see the next physical quantity related with the rotational dynamics, that is angular momentum or moment of linear momentum. So moment of linear momentum is called as angular momentum. This is actually a meaning or a definition of angular momentum. So what is angular momentum? It is moment of linear momentum. It is like similar to the torque. Torque is called as moment of force. That is the next heading after this. So similar to this, we are studying one more physical quantity, that is the torque. So what is angular momentum? Angular momentum is denoted by L vector, and it is vector r cross of vector p. This equation you have studied in the fourth chapter, or in the vector you have introduced about this equation. This is one example of the cross product of the two vectors. So L equal to vector r cross of vector p. Direction of L and the magnitude of L will be calculated by the cross product of this moment arm and linear momentum vector. So in this rotational dynamics, we are modifying this formula into one another form, this L equal to I omega. So that we will continue in the next part.